One shot. Let's begin. Afterwards, four seasons of Wars Chronicle 1987 to 2000. We finished chapter 21. Now we're doing chapter 33. Um, it's a little bit older, and the quality scans doesn't seem to be too high, so I apologize for that. Um, when the Rain Falls by Abe Yoshitoshi. Razor Waffles. Okay. I'm glad that we got credit for an author this time. Let's see. That's rare. The power's out. You stay by the cash register. I'll get the manager. As I concentrated in the darkness, I could hear the faint sound of raindrops falling through the bustling noises from the distant city. Huh? Hasumi? It was just the other day that I learned that she had committed suicide, but it already felt like years had gone by. Now that I think about it, she first visited my apartment on a rainy night like this. You could stay here until the rain stops. You're a nice guy. Use the shower. I'm going to grab some food. Thanks. Hey, Yamada. It's Yoshikawa. Remember that girl from high school? The one who had an abortion and quit the school. The quiet one. Do you remember her name? Sorry. No, it was my idea. All the time. Wait, what? Okay, I guess this is the next page. Sorry. No, it was my idea. All the time you were out, I was hoping and praying that the rain wouldn't stop. I was really happy. I didn't think anybody from high school would remember me. She didn't leave, even after the rain stopped. We started living together and separated after 4 months. I didn't think we'd ever see each other again, and I was right. 6 months after we separated, she hung herself on the day before her 20th birthday. A stray, but it has a collar. What exactly did she see me as? Perhaps all I did was try to shelter a stray cat who wandered in from the cold rain. Blood. He was hurt. That cat would probably die. That's what I thought, at least. 2 days ago, I received a letter from her family notifying me of her death. Her funeral was over, and her parents didn't know what she had been up to after we had separated. If she hadn't mentioned me in her suicide note, they would have never known about me. I still haven't worked up the courage to open her suicide note, which they had included in the letter. Why did she address it to me? I closed my eyes. I could no longer recall what she looked like. All I remember is a small knife wound along her rib cage, and the way she would turn her back on me and cry like a child. Okay. Oh, a little fishy. Psh, I die. No! No! This is a nightmare. I flung the goldfish, which had stopped moving, onto the side of the road and fled. Am I saddened by her death or frightened? I still don't fully grasp the fact that she no longer exists. Notice, due to electrical maintenance, we will be closed on June 15th and June 16th. We apologize for the inconvenience. Hey, you can't post notices in the store without getting permission. Oh. Who are you? I work here. Someone already did that. It's posted right there. Someone from the store posted it. Huh? Please find my cat. Name Nora. Gender male. Age about 2 years. Missing since June 7th. Found. Please call this number 934563221. Excuse me. Are you here to bug me again? No, this isn't your store, is it? No, I. Then go away! I'm busy, stop following me! The cat you're looking for. I saw him near my place last night. Really? It was on my way back from home, so I guess it was around 9:30. He was walking in the rain, that way. But that was yesterday. Why didn't you catch him? I thought he was a stray. He really is a stray. That's why I call him Nora. Huh? He's not a pet. I just took him in and gave him a name and fed him. We live in an apartment. My dad's a real ass about pets. Then why are you putting up posters for a stray? None of your business. Sorry, but I'm worried. I found footsteps in my kitchen. They were dirty with blood. He walked all the way to his dish, but he didn't eat any of the food. Maybe he was hurt so badly that he couldn't eat. Hey, when you saw him, did he look like he was hurt? He looked okay to me, I think. Really? Thank God. Oh, I've gotta go now. I want to put all these posters up today. I'll help you with half of them. I'm not working today. I've got nothing to do. You're such a nice guy. I lied. Again. All done now. The sun is setting. Yeah. It's getting dark. It's getting dark. Do you live around here? I don't want to go home. Tomorrow's Monday. You have school, don't you? Don't talk about school. I hate it. Work, my house, everything. My accent's a little funny, isn't it? Dad and I just moved here 6 months ago. Kids in Tokyo are all liars. They all talk behind your back. I hate liars more than anything. I hate Mom and Dad too. Dad should just come here by himself. Where's your mom now? She went away. Oh, Mom. Mom said that she'd found someone other than Dad. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I vowed not to cry about it either. Lately, Dad drinks a lot and then he cries. I don't know why he drinks if it makes him sad. Have you ever fallen in love with someone? I thought I had, but I don't know anymore. I see. Hey, will you help me out again some other time? Sure. I've got to find your cat. I'm so glad. You're the first human friend I've made since I came to Tokyo. Oh no. Throwing the beer. 6 months after Hasumi disappeared, it finally sank in that I was alone now. I heard about that scar from your prick. Stop it! Your boyfriend stabbed you because you didn't want to have an abortion, right? Please stop! I wish you would have been honest with me, instead of putting on a show with these pills and everything. If you knew. If you knew I couldn't have kids, what would you have thought of me? Mm, nothing, really. I guess you're right. It's not like we've ever planned on getting married or anything. I'm not saying I'm not saying I wanted kids. I just wanted a normal. I don't even have any tears left. Now that I think about it, for those 4 months we lived together, I told nothing but lies. People always become liars when they try to be kind. I pretended to be a nice guy, but the whole time I hadn't even understood what it was that she wanted. To me, death is a mystery. I cannot fathom if she were alive in any shape or form, then I would have been able to cry for her. Hmm. I had a dream. What kind of dream? About the time I found Nora. I found him curled up by the riverside by his dead mother. I made a grave under the nearby bridge and... Why did your cat disappear? It was my fault. I found dead mice strewn about my room. It freaked me out, but it was probably his way of saying thanks. When Nora went missing, it made me realize that friends are important. Man, right now I feel like I could call up the friends back home I had a fight with and say I'm sorry. I have to apologize to you too. When I saw Nora yesterday, he was... Why did you lie to me? If I had known, I would have looked for him until it was dark. That's why I didn't tell you. And besides, I thought it would hurt you. Yeah, it did hurt me. I thought you were a friend. You just lied because you didn't want to hurt your own feelings. No, I didn't. I just... Don't follow me. I don't want to talk to you. I hate you. Uh, you didn't want to hurt your own feelings. Nobody can get through life without lying. It made me realize that friends are important. You're not gonna stop me? If you if you're looking for happiness, you shouldn't expect anything from me. Why had I said that? It wasn't your scar that I couldn't forgive. It was the way you tried to cling to the happiness you traded for lies. I could say I'm sorry now. Fuck! The bridge over Tamagawa. Why did I come here? No. No, it can't be. What is this? A grave. I figured he wanted to be close to his mom. I knew, too. I knew that Nora was gone. I knew that he's gone away and I'll never see him again. That's why. That's why it'd be too sad if he didn't have a grave. Oh, I'm all muddy. Raise your hand. The rain will wash it all away. Let's see. I'll take half of your death with me, Nora. so you won't be lonely. I want to be alone for a while. I'm sorry I called you a liar. I'm not crying. It's just my tears. They're flowing on their own. A dream. Well, I'd get married, have kids, and make their meals. That's pretty typical. You don't understand how much joy something like that brings. If you're looking for happiness, then you shouldn't expect anything from me. I never was able to give you anything. Hasumi, I think I could finally understand your death, even if you died hating me. Let's see. Are you to Yoshikawa? Okay, let's see. This is a little bit weird. Um, there was one thing that I learned after breaking up with you and becoming truly alone. We may have hated each other and hurt each other, but during those 4 months when we were together, I was happy. Are you? To Yoshikawa someone was what her suicide note said. Hasumi. I heard in the morning news that the wet season was already over in Hasumi's hometown. Soon, Tokyo will get hot too. With her summer hats on, the girl looked a little more grown up than when I had previously seen her. We kept what we lose in our pocket and what remains in our left pocket to achieve a delicate balance. That's the way we live life. This has been a Razor Waffles presentation. Please look forward to Abe-san's next beast. That was good. I liked it. I feel like this was a lot slower and a lot more pensive than like what we've normally been looking at when it comes to like, the whole parasite thing and the psychotic killer. Um, and like even though like the scans weren't the best and a bit of an older series, I don't think that took away from the story at all. Um, you know, I think it was a pretty good time here. So I think there's a lot of like underlying existential dread that we can go into here. So let me just see. Just want to make sure that I'm before I make this criticism here. I need to be. I guess their hairstyles are different. No, their eyes are different too. No, it's always like, it seems like a lot of the older series have a lot of the same face, but that's like no, that they're different here. And I think, oh no, this guy, not this guy. One of the things that I think this kind of like hits on, and I think it's kind of important, right? And I think the author speaks to this beautifully, right? Like, there's the place of like lying, right? That everybody is a liar, right? And like, for example, when it comes to like actors, that's consensual lying, right? You're like, I don't believe that Batman or Superman are really being these people up, but I'm going to pretend that I believe these actors' lies. They're not really doing anything, right? So it's a form of lying, although maybe if you call that a stretch for lying, that's not too bad, right? You can say that. Um, Another one of the things here that, sorry, I'm just getting my Flintstone gummies or Flintstone vitamins. They're not gummies. Mm, okay, where's it here? I think this one's the idea. Well, I guess we'll go in whatever order here. But I like this one here where it says, come on, where is it? That's where she kind of disowns him. Here we go. Why'd you lie to me? It hurt. I thought you were a friend. You just like because you didn't want to hurt your own feelings. And I think that's like a very true thing, right? Where people um, lie in order to make them, or maybe they tell the truth later after lying to make themselves feel better because they didn't want to feel bad, right? By telling the truth back then because they're worried about the person's reaction and how it might affect them, right? And I think that's a very like interesting perspective on lying, right? Like you say you're doing it to preserve their feelings, but you're kind of doing it to preserve your own feelings as well. Although context is very important, right? Um, and there's like the idea where like if you do tell them the lie, are you going to choose to maintain it? There was this old sitcom, Everybody Loves Raymond, was what it was called here, and I forget like the main character. I think his name's Ray Romano. I don't remember his brother's name. Um, but I think he got into an accident, and then part of the brother was got into an accident, and then the main character Ray, like he told a lie to him that kind of led to the accident. Um, and then he went, and when the guy was in the hospital, he told them like, "Oh yeah, I actually lied to you, and like this and that happened." And then the brother's like, "Wait, why'd you tell me that?" Like, oh, I just wanted to make you feel better. It's like I didn't feel anything there. You're just doing it to make yourself feel better. Like, in fact, I feel worse now. Because like he was telling him something like unpleasant or something, or I forget the context, right? But you're doing it to absolve your own consciousness, which I think is a really important point, right? And then I guess kind of like the artificial numbness, or maybe art, but kind of the numbness this guy feels, or the like whatever. Where he's like, I don't feel good enough. It's implied he has a bit of a drinking thing as well too. And I was a little worried the direction this comic was going, like in the very first part here. Um, like where it goes, hey, she like I thought he was. This looks a little bit sinister here. I don't remember her name here. Had an abortion and quit school, the quiet one, and then she just kind of stayed, and they kind of became together here. She killed herself at 19. A little sad cat. We only see it for a little bit, and then it went, and then it died. Oh, but yeah, the suicide note being named. It's like, oh, this is here where like, right? Okay, so yeah, she got stabbed because they tried to kill her because she did want to get an abortion, but ended up getting here. This is the nightmare. This is. I wonder the significance of the goldfish thing, right? We were just kind of throwing things off to the side on accident. Is that kind of what this means here? Um, I found the goldfish to stop moving onto the side of the road and fled, right? Like he just tosses things away because he's worried about an accident or this, that, or the other happens here. Looks like he got an open wound before he even fell here. So is that what he's worried like that he did to the girl too? That he's just kind of using or throwing people away, or not even trying to save them there? Mm, yeah. To pretend to be a nice guy, but the whole time I hadn't even understood what it is she wanted. I think that's another point, right? Is that like, when you get into relationships, it's do you understand what the other person wants? Do you really know them, or how much do you really know about a person? Right? I'll say that, like, in like my last, I guess we'll call it a situationship. We never reached the relationship part thing. Like one of the things was what was it? She I said like, yeah, I don't feel like I ever know you. You don't ever like really talk about yourself this side or the other. And like one of the things I said was like, well, in these past couple months, how often have you asked, how are you feeling, or how was your day? And she couldn't like remember. Like she's like, oh well, okay. And like that was like one of the things that kind of flooded, right? Maybe that's more on me too. Where like I need to learn to still, share myself, show more myself, rather than waiting on the other person. But that's kind of part of me maturing on all that. Where it's like, yeah, ideally I want somebody to ask how my day is doing in one of those relationships, but it be like that sometimes. And so yeah, I think that's an important part of getting to know the person, kind of understanding what they want. Because I could have been a better communicator. Say, hey, why don't you ask me how my day is doing here, this and the other here. But to be fair, I didn't really care to talk about my day too much. But if anybody asked, I would, you know. And I think that's like one of the, so you got to make sure you know what the person's saying, what the person's doing here. Um, and then they went and then buried her, well, buried the little cat here, and then the cat you dead with more, so you won't be lonely. That's sad. I want to be alone for a while. And then this is one where, like, as I get older, I'm like, do I want to have kids and get married? Like, kids I think are a joy, but I'm a teacher, so, like, I guess they're teenagers. But I see, like, influence them and get their own type of joy from that way here. Uh, and this one here, you don't understand how much joy something like that brings. I think that's important. You don't understand how much joy, and I don't think necessarily about the kids, but how, like, small little things bring, right? Like, what is this joy that we're feeling from this small little action here? Even if you don't think you're doing a lot for somebody here, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not this or the other, I don't think you understand how much joy you can bring somebody else, or how much joy small little things can bring people, right? It's like, hey, people want the simple things in life, although some people want more. But yeah, I think that's another one here. If I was never able to give you anything, right? But he did give her something. He gave her a sense of joy, and then he started to come to terms with that fact, right? This is a little confusing, but um, like I think this is like supposed to be from here to here to here, right? Like, cause it's a bit of weird formatting, but yeah, there was one thing that I learned after breaking up with you and becoming truly alone. We may have hated each other, and hurt each other, but during those 4 months when we were together, I was happy. Are you? To Toshua, and that's another thing. Like maybe he was just a miserable guy, and he's not the most happy, and he gets the tears. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way we live life, right? I don't understand. We keep what we lose in our right pocket and what remains in our left pocket to achieve a delicate balance. My guess is that that's just kind of like your experiences make you who you are, right? In one pocket, you have your past, in the other pocket, you have your future potentially, and you are the center of the balance if you want to get super existential. And I find this interesting, and I know this is just like somebody saying, I'm not crying, it's just my tears are flowing on their own. I feel like that's happened before where, like, I don't want to cry, but then, like, the tears just kind of start flowing on their own, and you're like, why am I crying here? And I think that's kind of beautiful and sad at the time. But yeah, I like this. I like this author too. I want to read more of his stuff. Abe Yoshitoshi. Let's look at their stuff before we call it a day. Let's see. They're certainly an older author, if that's their style. Uh, okay. Looks like they've been around a while. Oh gosh. Okay. I guess we'll eventually be reading the Nightmare of Fabrication. Oh no. Their style is interesting. They've updated a lot. Wow. Okay, it says ongoing. Oh no. Okay, that's fun. I didn't know that they kept going here. Is this another more recent one, or are these just not translated? What year? 4 years ago? Sure. Let's click on this chapter just to make sure. Because like that's a pretty big update to. Oh my gosh, that's cool. I like how they updated their style. You still have a bit of that older style going on here, but like you could see that it's like more modernized here. I kind of like the little scraggly things too. I'm good. I like this author already. But I guess that's everything, everybody. So all that being said, like, comment, subscribing. Thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.